We have what appears to be some very serious situations happening around the globe, right? War, World War III, all these types of terms are being thrown around by the news. We're seeing images of all sorts of crazy, horrific stuff. They come across sometimes in my feed. I don't watch the news as a basic rule, but nevertheless, they're out there. And these images are out there to trigger a response within us. Now, you have to remember that this time-space reality, this three-dimensional reality, this physical universe, we created it to separate ourselves and give us an experience of being able to interact with our energy. Remember, we're all one, but from a separate standpoint so that we could feel, we could respond, we could reclaim our energy. So we've slowed our vibration down to be able to do that. And as we start to observe and detach from the situations we're seeing in 3D, in this 3D reality, we start to raise our vibration. And when that happens, our frequency rises and we start to rejoin our higher self. We start to bring it here and we start to embody it and become it. Well, we are in the late stages of really the end of a 3D universe. Our planet is ascending up through 4D. We are releasing the anchors, the threads, the heaviness of the 3D density. And that's what we're seeing being reflected out around the world with these conflicts. Now, I want to be very clear on what we're seeing, and something very, very important that we need to realize is that we need to observe our emotional response when we're seeing these images, when we're hearing this news. You have to remember that the media, the news, the economy, the politicians, their goal is to separate us from our true divinity. Think of it this way. When we respond to these images, to this news with fear, we are separating ourselves from our choice, from our free will, from our sovereignty. We are giving power over to these institutions, these individuals. So we're at the stage now where, as we move up through 4D, we're seeing the manifestation of what has already happened in 4D. We're seeing it energetically play out now in this reality that we are in, this physical reality. So remember, a while back, I did a video and I explained the different dimensions. If you want to look at this, we have, like 3D, 4D, 5D. My Pleiadian guide explained this to me. And when we lower that down, then we have the dimensions become a timeline. So we're moving across this timeline and we're starting to manifest or experience what's already happened in 4D. Okay, the galactic wars, all that kind of stuff, that energy, the draconians, the reptilians, that kind of energy has been purged or cleared in 4D. Okay, my galactic team has told me that about a year ago, and I believe I brought that forward, that the energy has been removed, meaning that these dense energetic beings have been returned to the light. They have ascended. Now, what happens as a result of that is the 4D energy, the fourth dimension, starts to clear. Okay, more space is created as that density was removed. And that allows us here in 3D to start to rise, and the planet starts to rise from 3D into 4D. Now, what's happening here is that we're experiencing that exact process that happened here while we're on our timeline some time back, maybe about a year ago and before, as this was happening. It's starting to manifest here on the timeline. Remember, the 4D falls, and now it's in the future, right? So if this happened a year ago, we're catching up with it here. This is the future of that event as it manifests on a timeline. So we are experiencing that same process from this perspective. So it looks very different. We're not dealing with draconians and reptilians. We're seeing humans, okay? But yet it's the same energy, but it's being cleared, it's being healed. So there's a very important message here. And there's one thing I want you guys to take away from this video is do not give your power over to what you are experiencing or seeing or feeling in the news, okay, in the media. Things are very, very different from what is being portrayed, okay? That is a very important message to take away from this video. So detach from the emotional responses and just feel it all. Feel it all and know that you're not going to give your power away and align with the emotions that these institutions, the media, the news wants you to. You are going to reclaim your power. You are going to see this from a higher frequency perspective and realize that this dense energy that has happened in the higher dimensions is being reflected out now. We're moving through that process here. We're observing it here, the clearing, the purging, and that will create more space right here in this dense physical reality to bring the frequencies of love and compassion through, unconditional love, which incidentally is what's causing all this, right? So space is created in 4D. We ground it here as light workers. We've been doing our work. We've been bringing it down, and it's pushing all the remaining density forward to be healed. But in order to do that, it has to be observed. In order to observe it, it needs to be reflected out into reality. And that is what's happening now. So don't look at the players on the stage and label them as good or bad. Look at it from a higher perspective, knowing that this dense energy is being purged. But ask yourself this one question. We know the media has not been truthful. We've known this over the past 2 or 3 years, right? There was an agenda in place, and it's becoming more and more obvious now. It's about control. Okay, so ask yourself this one question. What if what you're hearing in the media and in the news, what if the truth is the exact opposite? Okay, start thinking that way, and you will immediately reclaim your power and bring forward your ability to discern everything that is being bombarded, you're being bombarded with, that's being thrown in your direction. So I hope this video resonated. If it did, please feel free to share it. I would greatly appreciate it. I feel that this can help a lot of people. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Like and follow if you're on Facebook or Instagram viewing this. Thank you so much.